Have you ever found yourself wondering why, with all the pills and treatments out there, you still wake up tired, still feel that ache in your knees, still toss and turn at night? If so, you're not alone. And I want to talk to you today, not as a doctor in a white coat, but as someone who's spent over 3 decades walking alongside older adults just like you. My name is Dr. Thomas, and what I've learned over the years is this. Sometimes the most powerful changes don't come from new prescriptions, but from old wisdom. Like two ingredients you probably already have at home: apple cider vinegar and baking soda. It may sound too simple to matter, but when used properly, this combination has helped people reduce joint pain, soothe digestion, support circulation and blood pressure, and even restore natural energy without harsh chemicals and without breaking the bank. In this video, I'll share with you the real science, the real stories, and the right way to use it, especially if you're over 60 and want to feel good again in your own body. Stay with me until the end. This just might be the small shift that leads to a big transformation. Let's begin. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. The surprising truth about apple cider vinegar and baking soda. What if the solution to some of your most frustrating health problems wasn't locked behind a pharmacy counter or buried in a long list of side effects, but instead sitting quietly in your kitchen cabinet? That's the case with two of the most underestimated items in American homes: apple cider vinegar and baking soda. Alone, they're familiar. But when combined with care, they create a gentle, natural tonic that continues to leave even seasoned health professionals impressed. Apple cider vinegar, especially the raw, unfiltered kind with the mother, contains powerful enzymes, probiotics, and acetic acid. These components have been shown in research from institutions like Harvard and Mayo Clinic to support digestion, improve insulin sensitivity, and aid the body's natural detox processes. Baking soda, by contrast, is often overlooked because of its simplicity, but it holds one of the body's most vital balancing tools: the ability to regulate pH and neutralize excess acid in the bloodstream. Together, they work in harmony, not as a quick fix, but as a subtle shift. When combined properly in warm water, the acid from the vinegar reacts with the alkaline properties of baking soda to form a slightly fizzy, balanced drink that's easier on the stomach than vinegar alone. It gently supports the digestive system, calms inflammation, and creates an internal environment that may help the body function more efficiently. Take the story of Carol, a 72-year-old widow from Minnesota. For years, she struggled with bloating, painful acid reflux, and chronic fatigue that no medication seemed to ease. Her doctor had prescribed proton pump inhibitors, but after months of dull headaches and thinning hair, she wanted something gentler. With guidance from her naturopath, who had spent over 3 decades treating older adults, Carol began drinking a warm glass of water with a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and a pinch of baking soda before dinner. Within 3 weeks, her bloating decreased, her energy improved, and she no longer feared lying flat in bed. It wasn't magic, it was consistency, and it changed her evenings. Many holistic physicians have echoed this in recent years. Dr. Karen Daniels, a board-certified integrative medicine specialist, notes, when used properly and moderately, apple cider vinegar combined with baking soda can gently support digestive rhythm and pH balance, two of the most underappreciated foundations of senior health. This isn't about fads or miracle cures. It's about recognizing that sometimes the most effective answers are simple, accessible, and grounded in both tradition and biology. So, what exactly can this blend do for older adults? And why are more and more seniors turning to it over costly supplements and medications? Let's take a closer look at the specific health benefits for seniors, supported by evidence and real life experience. What you'll discover might surprise you. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 1. Joint pain and chronic inflammation relief. For millions of older Americans, joint pain isn't just a nuisance, it's a daily companion. Climbing stairs feels like hiking a mountain. Getting up from the recliner becomes a small battle, and favorite hobbies like gardening or dancing are slowly replaced with rest and reluctance. Most seniors are told that this is simply part of aging, but science is now revealing something more hopeful, that certain natural remedies, when used consistently, may help reduce the root causes of this pain, not just mask it. One of those remedies is the humble blend of apple cider vinegar and baking soda. When consumed properly, this mixture can support the body in reducing chronic inflammation, a key driver behind conditions like arthritis, joint stiffness, and muscle fatigue. According to a 2020 study published in Integrative Medicine Reports, older adults who incorporated low-acid alkalizing drinks into their daily routine experienced noticeable improvements in joint mobility and a reduction in inflammatory markers over 8 to 12 weeks. The science behind this lies in the way apple cider vinegar, rich in acetic acid and polyphenols, helps the body process minerals and break down uric acid, a common cause of joint inflammation. Meanwhile, baking soda supports the body's pH balance, which in turn helps reduce systemic acidity, a condition that often worsens inflammation in joints and tissues. Together, they work not like a painkiller, but like a reset button, gently nudging the body back toward balance. Take George, a 68-year-old retired auto mechanic from Indiana. He spent decades on concrete floors, twisting under car frames, lifting heavy parts. By his late 60s, the joints in his hands were so swollen he couldn't even button his shirt without wincing. Prescription anti-inflammatories upset his stomach, and physical therapy helped, but only slightly. At the suggestion of a holistic nurse practitioner, George began drinking a blend of warm water, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and a quarter teaspoon of baking soda each evening. He didn't expect much, but within a month, the morning stiffness in his hands began to fade. By the 3rd month, he was opening jars again without assistance. "It's not that the pain disappeared overnight," he said, "but it stopped owning me." Dr. Rachel Freeman, a geriatric health advisor with over 25 years of experience, explains, joint inflammation is often tied to internal imbalances, especially gut health and pH levels. Gentle natural alkalizers like baking soda, when used with anti-inflammatory foods like ACV, can support tissue healing from the inside out. This approach won't replace medical treatment where it's needed, but for many seniors, it becomes a powerful companion in their journey toward easier movement and less daily discomfort. And if joint pain can be eased with something this simple, what else could this blend help improve in the lives of older adults? Let's move on to a system that affects nearly every senior but is often overlooked: digestion. What happens next might just surprise you. 2. Digestive support and acid reflux relief. For many seniors, digestion becomes one of the most frustrating parts of daily life. What used to be a simple pleasure, eating a hearty meal, can suddenly turn into hours of discomfort, bloating, heartburn, indigestion, and that persistent burning sensation that creeps up the chest late at night. Doctors often prescribe acid reducers or antacids, but these quick fixes can come with side effects like nutrient malabsorption, increased risk of infection, and, ironically, long term dependence. What if there were a gentler, more natural approach, one that worked with your body instead of against it? That's where the blend of apple cider vinegar and baking soda quietly shines. At first glance, it seems strange. How could something acidic like vinegar help with acid reflux? The answer lies in understanding the difference between low stomach acid and excess acid. And surprisingly, many older adults suffer from the former. As we age, the stomach naturally produces less hydrochloric acid, making digestion slower and less efficient. This can cause food to linger longer in the stomach, leading to fermentation, bloating, and reflux symptoms that mimic high acidity. Apple cider vinegar, when diluted properly and balanced with baking soda, acts like a gentle digestive primer. It provides enzymes and acetic acid to stimulate stomach function, while baking soda buffers any harsh acidity, creating a balanced internal environment that supports proper digestion without irritating the gut lining. Consider Elaine, a 74-year-old grandmother from South Carolina. After years of struggling with nighttime reflux and popping antacids like candy, her daughter, a holistic nutritionist, suggested something unconventional: a half cup of warm water with 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and a pinch of baking soda, taken about 20 minutes before dinner. Skeptical but willing, Elaine gave it a shot. Within a week, she noticed less bloating. After 3 weeks, she could sleep lying flat again. 6 months later, she hadn't touched an antacid in over 4 months. It was like my stomach started working again, she said with a quiet smile. I finally felt light after a meal instead of heavy. Her experience isn't unique. Studies from the American Journal of Gastroenterology suggest that natural digestive aids like apple cider vinegar may stimulate gastric motility and reduce symptoms of reflux when used properly. Meanwhile, Dr. Thomas Leary, a senior wellness specialist, emphasizes the older digestive system doesn't need more suppression. It needs intelligent support. Gentle natural acid like apple cider vinegar, when buffered by baking soda, can restore balance rather than block function. This isn't just about comfort after meals. Good digestion supports energy, mood, immune function, and even joint health. And if restoring something as basic as digestion can feel this freeing, what happens when we address the next hidden drain on senior vitality? Let's talk about blood pressure, circulation, and heart health, because the benefits of this simple drink don't stop in the stomach. 3. Blood pressure, circulation, and heart health support. For many older adults, blood pressure is the quiet battle happening behind the scenes. You feel fine until one day you're at the doctor's office and the cuff tightens on your arm a little longer than usual. It's a bit high, they say. And just like that, a cascade of medications, warnings, and lifestyle changes begins. But what if part of the solution to maintaining healthy blood pressure and circulation could be found in a simple, natural practice, one that supports your heart gently from the inside out? Apple cider vinegar and baking soda, when combined correctly, offer more than digestive support. They can also benefit the cardiovascular system. The science is catching up with what many holistic practitioners have long suspected. This combination can help improve vascular function, encourage better blood flow, and gently support blood pressure regulation. Apple cider vinegar has been studied for its potential to enhance nitric oxide production, a molecule that helps dilate blood vessels, improving circulation and reducing strain on the heart. Meanwhile, baking soda's alkalizing effect may reduce oxidative stress and improve pH balance, two factors closely linked with long-term heart health. Take Henry, a 70-year-old retired postman from Michigan, a man who spent his career on his feet, walking mail routes in the snow and summer heat. In retirement, Henry's active lifestyle slowed, but his blood pressure rose. He didn't want to rely solely on medication, so under his cardiologist's supervision, he added a daily ritual: a glass of warm water with 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and a pinch of baking soda each morning. Over the next several months, Henry not only noticed his pressure stabilizing, but also felt less heaviness in his legs, fewer dizzy spells after standing, and a steadier heart rate during walks. It didn't feel like I was doing anything dramatic, he said, but I started feeling more balanced, like my engine wasn't always running too hot. Dr. Nina Caldwell, a cardiovascular wellness consultant who has worked with aging patients for over 2 decades, explains natural nitric oxide support, gentle alkalizing, and inflammation reduction all contribute to healthier vascular tone. That's where apple cider vinegar and baking soda have surprising potential, especially when paired with movement, hydration, and sleep. This isn't a substitute for proper medical care, but it is a tool, a simple, safe, and affordable one that empowers seniors to actively care for their hearts on a daily basis. And when circulation improves, when your heart doesn't have to fight so hard, something else starts to return: your energy. And that leads us to perhaps the most overlooked benefit of all: feeling truly alive again. Let's talk about fatigue, energy, and how this simple blend might help light that spark. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Reducing fatigue and restoring natural energy. Fatigue in older age often goes unnoticed, not because it's minor, but because it creeps in slowly, quietly replacing vibrancy with sluggishness. You start waking up feeling tired. Afternoon naps become a necessity, not a luxury. Simple activities like walking the dog or folding laundry feel heavier than they used to. But this kind of fatigue isn't always just aging. Often it's a sign that your body is working harder than it should to maintain balance, especially when your digestion, circulation, and cellular metabolism aren't running smoothly. This is where the simple blend of apple cider vinegar and baking soda becomes surprisingly powerful. Science tells us that chronic fatigue in older adults is closely linked to inflammation, pH imbalance, impaired nutrient absorption, and sluggish mitochondrial function. That is, how your cells make energy. Apple cider vinegar contains essential enzymes, potassium, and acetic acid that support metabolic efficiency. It helps the body break down fats and proteins more effectively, leading to more stable blood sugar and energy production. Baking soda, when used properly, helps balance internal acidity, allowing cells to function in a more oxygen-rich alkaline environment. Together, they support the biological conditions that energy needs to thrive. Consider Marilyn, a 73-year-old former librarian from Oregon. After recovering from a mild illness, she just couldn't bounce back. Every afternoon around 3 p.m., her body would crash. She described it as walking through fog with weights on her ankles. Coffee didn't help. Multivitamins didn't move the needle. On a friend's advice, she began drinking a glass of warm water with a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda every morning before breakfast. The change didn't happen overnight, but within 2 weeks, she noticed something subtle: fewer energy dips, steadier focus, and a surprising urge to go out for a walk. I thought I was just getting old, Marilyn said. Turns out, I was just running low on fuel, and this helped me refuel. Dr. Eric Lawson, a metabolic health expert specializing in aging populations, notes, "We often overlook the small metabolic inefficiencies that drain energy over time. Supporting digestion, pH, and circulation creates the foundation for cellular energy. That's exactly where apple cider vinegar and baking soda can help." This simple blend doesn't provide a caffeine jolt or artificial rush. Instead, it restores the body's natural rhythm, making everyday tasks feel less like chores and more like choices again. So if you're wondering how to bring this into your life, how to prepare it, how often to use it, and how to do it safely, you're not alone. Let's walk step by step through exactly how to use this blend effectively. You may be surprised how easy it truly is. 5. How to use it effectively. The beauty of the apple cider vinegar and baking soda blend isn't just in what it can do, it's in how easy it is to use. No pills, no complicated regimens, no costly treatments. Just two ingredients, a little warm water, and a few minutes of your day. But just like any natural remedy, how you use it matters. For seniors especially, the right method, timing, and consistency can make the difference between mild results and life-changing benefits. Most experts recommend starting with a small, balanced ratio to avoid upsetting the stomach or causing acid overload. Dr. Evelyn Marks, a geriatric nutritionist with over 30 years of experience, suggests the following. For most older adults, a blend of 1 teaspoon of organic apple cider vinegar and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda in 6 to 8 ounces of warm water, taken once daily before a meal, usually breakfast or lunch, is both safe and effective. Why before meals? Because that's when your body's digestive processes are ramping up. The vinegar supports enzyme activity and stomach acid production, while the baking soda buffers excess acidity and supports pH balance. Warm water helps your body absorb it gently without shock to the system. For those with sensitive stomachs or taking medications, it's always wise to start every other day and build up slowly, especially if you're managing blood pressure, kidney function, or gastrointestinal conditions. Let me share the story of Frank and Dorothy, a couple in their late 70s from Arizona. Both had started to feel the weight of aging more than they wanted to admit. Frank with his joint stiffness, Dorothy with sluggish digestion and fatigue. Their daughter, a holistic health coach, set them up with a morning routine. Together, they'd prepare their warm ACV and baking soda tonic, sip it slowly on the porch, and take 5 minutes to stretch or breathe before breakfast. What began as a small ritual became a meaningful shift. It was about more than just the drink, Dorothy said. It became a reminder that we still have choices to feel better, to move more, to take care of ourselves with love. Within weeks, they both reported better digestion, improved sleep, and a noticeable lift in their daily energy. It wasn't dramatic, but it was steady, and it came from within. This practice isn't about overnight miracles. It's about giving your body a simple, natural tool and the chance to heal, regulate, and thrive on its own. And when something this accessible can create that kind of shift, it begs the question, what else might be possible if we return to nature's wisdom and truly listen to our bodies? Let's bring it all together and take a final look at the deeper message behind this humble combination. A simple choice that can change everything. As we come to the end of this journey, I want to leave you with something deeper than just a health tip. Because what we've talked about today, the blend of apple cider vinegar and baking soda, isn't just a home remedy. It's a reminder that healing doesn't always have to be complicated, that sometimes the body simply needs a little support to do what it was designed to do, restore itself. You've heard the stories, you've seen the science, from easing chronic joint pain to calming digestion, supporting circulation, lifting energy, and balancing blood pressure. This simple tonic has helped many older adults feel lighter, stronger, and more in tune with their bodies again. Not because it's magic, but because it works with the body, not against it. And what's most powerful? It invites you to take back a sense of ownership over your health, not through expensive treatments or endless medications, but through a few minutes each day, a warm glass, and the quiet decision to care for yourself with intention. I've spent over 30 years walking this path with seniors across the country. I've seen the difference between people who surrender to aging and those who choose to stay curious, stay engaged, and try something new, no matter their age. If you're watching this, I believe you're part of that second group. So here's my final encouragement. Start small, but start today. Try it for yourself. Feel what your body is capable of when you support it gently. And remember, you don't need to chase youth to feel alive. You just need to give yourself permission to feel better than you did yesterday. Thank you for sharing this time with me. If this message spoke to you, pass it on to someone you care about. And if you try this tonic, I'd love to hear your story, because your experience might be the spark someone else has been waiting for. Take good care. You're worth it. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.